the moment. You're listening to Health Focus, that one program that lets you know things about your health and how to actually manage them. But today we're taking a different dimension, as I said before. But if you're just joining us, well, you've missed a little bit. We still have lots more for you. We still have lots more in store for you, actually. And still in the studio with me is Mr. Richard Emmanuel Taffy, who is a speech therapist, and he is talking about a very interesting topic. Hmm. You'll be guessing what that topic. If you just joined us, you'll be guessing what that topic is. But then, for those who have been around, those who have stuck around, they've really learned a lot already. Today, we're talking about Down syndrome. Down syndrome. We've been talking about it, and it is a genetic disorder caused when an abnormal cell division results in separate genetic material, and then it happens when the genes, instead of it being a total of 46, instead of us having a total of 46 chromosomes, you then tend to have the child, or a particular child then tends to have 47. That is, instead of 23 pairs, yes, you have 23 plus one pair. So you have like 47 pairs of chromosomes. So that is actually what causes Down syndrome. And then my therapist has actually been saying a lot already on the topic, and he's going to continue with a lot more. He's going to be answering our questions. You can also call in to ask your questions. If you have any questions based on Down syndrome, if you're really bothered on how to manage someone who is living with you who has Down syndrome, just call in and let us know. The number to call is 012911031, or you call the number 070 111 99181. I'll repeat, 012911031, or you call the number 070 111 99181. Yes, the phone lines are open for you to call in and ask your questions. So call in and ask your questions. Let us know what your questions are. Okay, so Mr. Richard, are you still ready for me?
Yeah, of course, I'm here.
All right. Okay, so you've said something about like they really don't have a lot of challenges. Like their challenges just has to do with their ability to comprehend some things. You have to explain better to them, longer than you would have been able to explain to a normal child. But then, how is it possible for them to manage in a normal school? Or will you advise that the parents should take the child to a different school? Can they actually manage in a normal school, a school that every other child goes to?
Well, in research of it, it's not advisable in my field, and I've been in this service for a very long time now, since 2008 when I left the seminary school. So there have been so many experiences about that. So when it comes to taking a child, whether Down syndrome, okay, that's the topic here.
Yeah.
Down syndrome to a special school is not advisable, as I can't for any reason advise the parent to take a child to special school. It's not making any sense because it's not going to help the child. Okay,
Mm.
let me explain this. You can imagine a child. Okay, what makes this negative is this. But when a child who has Down syndrome goes to where his or her species are, there won't be any reason for him or her to make a difference because they're going to
Oh.
feel we are the same type of people. So looking left, right, front, and back, it's just us. So there won't be any reason for him or she, and all of them will be categorized as the same.
Mm.
But it's very advisable to take them to a normal school. Then you'll be wondering how can they be in a normal school?
Yeah.
Fine, there are so many ways they can be in a normal school. Fine, there are people who call the shadow therapist.
Okay.
Yeah, shadow therapists are the kind of people that they are specialized, they are trained to work with people maybe Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, or autism. But we are talking about Down syndrome here. These people are specialized, they are trained to work with them. Why they should be in a normal school is those people are going to be with them in the same class.
Oh
So
wow.
they should be trained so that they can be able to understand whatever they're doing in class ahead of the Down syndrome child. So that by the end of the day, they will have so many means alternatives to buttress it to them or to explain it to them. For instance, let's assume you're teaching a child how to write, let me say, 1 to 3. You don't expect a child with Down syndrome to just know
Get
this
it.
is 1 is a stroke, 2 is a stroke
Oh.
and dash and all that. Three
Okay.
is double cups. No, you have to use lots and lots of means, lots and lots of explanation, lots and lots of tricks. Because it may even take you up to 2 weeks to even explain just how to write 1 or 2. So they should be in a normal school because there are specialists, there are shadow therapists who will be with them, who has this alternative of you work with them in the class. Maybe after a break or after a certain subject, you can have a pull out section. Polar self simply means when you take that child to a private place or a private room or a green class where you have one-on-one section with him or her. So there you can be able to explain whatever it is that has been explained in the class or whatever it is the teacher explains. They should be in a normal school for crying out loud because it will help them. Not in a normal school, they look left, right, they see everybody around them, and these people are different from my species. And it's going to help them to go be it will lots and lots of challenge for them to make a difference. But taking them to a normal a
School where,
special
yeah.
school so called of it's not going to help. These people should live their normal life. They have their normal life to live. There are so many Down syndrome clients who are doctors, who are
Wow.
musicians, who
Are you
they take
serious?
normal vocation like every other person.
Wow.
They get married, they have families, they move, they live their normal life. It's not genetic for crying out loud in some occasions. We have said what causes this. So it's not necessarily that what causes this in this person is going to linger to another generation. There is this information that out of 7,000 beds, there should be one, or there is one Down syndrome. So you can imagine that. Does that mean out of you're going to wait for 7,000 beds to take place before you give birth? No, you're gonna give birth. So there is 100% possibility that getting married to a Down syndrome client doesn't mean
That you have.
that you have one. They should live their normal life for crying out loud. It's just that they have a different look. That's just it. But every other thing about them should be just okay. They have this challenge, yeah. Their developmental milestone, their growth and development maybe is slow. They have low muscles. Let me not forget that their muscles are low, so you have to take lots and lots of. Most times, some people may decide to bring physios, but they need a behavioral therapist, physiotherapist because of their the gene and their developmental milestones that has a delay. Even their speech, their communication skills is always being delayed. So somehow you need a speech therapist. That is where most times I have a Down syndrome client which I it's only of speech. Someone else does what I call shadow therapist for her. She goes to school with someone, a normal school at Surulere, Lagos. I'm sorry, yeah, here in Lagos. She attends a normal school at Ebute Meta, yeah, in Ebute Meta, that's where she stays. So she goes to school. There's a shadow therapist that goes to school with her, explains everything that happens in the class with her. She lives a normal life. Then she comes home. I work her speech for her. So they should live a normal life. There shouldn't be any segregations for them.
Okay. So you've actually said a lot right now, and when it comes to therapy,
Yeah.
Nigerians are always like, oh, we are Nigerians, we're resilient, we don't need therapy, we don't need this, we don't need that. But you said a lot about therapy already. The need for a shallow therapist, the need for a speech therapist.
Behavioral therapist, I can
Yes.
nutritional therapist as well for their
Yes.
needs, for what they eat. Yes.
So how does it? Since you said there is no cure for Down syndrome, yes. How can you just buttress? How well does it improve the child's activities? Can the child still be able to take part in other activities, engage in other activities? Can they can dance, right?
Yeah, if
They
you
can
see,
do every other
I'm
thing.
going to sound some kind of funny here. If you see this Down syndrome, they have their obesity, obese, some kind of.
Okay.
Sorry, if you see them dance, yeah, it looks funny, but they dance, they live their normal lives. Yeah. So you're asking something.
Okay, so yes, how well does this therapy, work in the lives of the Down syndrome? What does it help them do? Since there's
Okay.
no treatment.
Okay. If you want, let's put it this way. If you want that therapy to be so very much effective, start from when the child is still very much young. Start from the cradle. If possible, start from when the child is 2, 3. As fast as the child is being diagnosed, okay, she has Down syndrome. You really need to start from there. Start as early as possible because if you start as early as possible, the child developmental milestones, normal things that should happen naturally, will start happening because the therapy is going to help the child with lots of activity. Okay, let's assume the speech therapist. Yeah, some Down syndrome clients may be hyperactive. Instead that their attention span may be low. So working with a Down syndrome child, there are some things as a speech therapist, you need to focus first on the attention span. Because let's assume we want to work with a Down syndrome child, we want to take his or her speech. Working with a child's someone's speech, the person has to look at your lips. So imagine a child who doesn't have attention span. How will the person look at your lip? For instance, you want to sound okay. Let me say, I want to teach a child it sound like ba or ka ka or it sound like s. The child has to look at your lips
To know how to
To
produce
know,
it.
okay, if I play the placement of my lips this way brings out this sound, and the placement of my lips this way brings out this sound. So if a child doesn't have attention span at all, I wonder how you're going to do that. You can't do the magic. So the attention span has to be worked on. The is paramount. That's the first thing you have to work on as a speech therapist. Then the behavioral. Then before you think of the cognitive, which is maybe knowing his or her numbers and all that. So they can be when you're working with them as a therapist, you have a long work to do, but it is very totally effective.
Okay.
We Nigerians should keep this mindset of okay, it's not working out. It's not, so what's going to work out? Now will you start
You have to give it
thinking
a try.
global? So you have to keep trying until you get it right. So they
Okay.
have hope. Thank you.
Okay, so is there anything that there NGOs that the government has put in place to actually, manage children like this with this special need, this particular special need, like Down syndrome? Is there anything the society can also do to help children who have Down syndrome?
Well, as for NGOs, I wouldn't say much on NGO because we know how NGOs work in Nigeria here. There are, yes,
Okay.
yes, capital letter yes, in terms of NGOs. But when you talk about the society itself, the society should 100% accept these special children. They deserve the best like every other person. There shouldn't be this segregation because they have their normal life to live. They should be in school. If you feel okay, you want to send the child to learn a skill or maybe shoemaking, barbing and all that, the child should first of all at least be in school.
Mm.
So it's not about we don't have money for this. Let's first of all, so what makes we human being react a certain way is our mindset. If you can change our mindset in terms of this, that these children have to live their normal lives. They are just normal like us. What about their looks? If you can change your mindset, it's going to help you a great deal to send them to school so that they can be able to achieve whatever God has said. You are coming to this earth to achieve this. You can be able to achieve that. Simple. So they have the society should help. There should be this of total acceptance. This aspect of segregation should totally be eradicated from the society in terms of you see a Down syndrome child, we're gonna be like, oh, who is this and all that. No,
Mm.
there shouldn't be that.
Okay.
That thinking should maybe from their parents, from their friends, from their family, they should be totally 100% accepted.
In the
So that in
society.
the society, in schools, in churches, in mosques, wherever they want to be,
Okay.
so there should be segregation among them. They should be
Okay.
helped because only thing I know, like I said, their developmental milestone, their level of understanding, their growth and development is a bit slow.
Mm.
So when you're able to understand that everybody mustn't be a therapist, but at the same time everybody should be a therapist. In
Okay.
one way or another, you can help. So
Okay.
if I'm able to like okay understand this is these people, you'll be able to help them. So accept them, help them in the way they want. If it's not okay, if you're the mom, the child has a assignment to do, say that okay, have the mindset that this child wouldn't understand this as fast as your second child who doesn't have Down syndrome. Take
Okay.
your time, explain this. The child will understand as time goes on, or rather on, you get a therapist to help.
Okay, so I just want you to quickly say this to
Okay,
parents
okay.
of, parents whose children have Down syndrome. Now we know of a lot of parents who are shy, who don't want to bring their children out. They feel ashamed of these children. We know of a lot of parents who, even when they want to start the whole therapy session and everything, they don't want to be consistent with it. Like they do it for a month and then, oh, I'm spending too much money on this thing. And we know of a lot of people who feel therapy is nothing to write home about, or it doesn't actually make much sense to waste money on therapy. So I just want you to give them a word, like let them know, encourage them to actually bring these children out, and let them understand that these children are normal. They can actually do whatever it is as far as they put in effort. Please just
Okay,
listen.
okay. In terms of that, let me say this briefly. You see, many parents live in denial. That
Mm,
denial aspect should be completely be put behind because this is your child. He or
mm,
she is going to live with you forever. So getting
mm,
a therapy should be the paramount. It should be your first point of call because they're going to help you out. But not being consistent. Let me say this: if you get a therapist, you're going to work with your child. The therapist may take okay, let's say up to 2 3 months, depends on the child's pace to
mm,
establish that rapport.
mm.
So it's when the therapist establishes rapport with your child, then gradually he can start inculcating one or two things he has for the child. So we should give the therapist time to be
Okay.
able to do this. It works.
Mm,
This is what I do. This is my profession. This is what I do. For
mm,
since 2008, I've been on this field, so it works. So parents should stop living in denial. Number one, they should put the fact that okay, forget the fact that okay, these children are okay. They are special. We know, but they have their normal life to live. They
mm,
understand if you explain to them. So they should be seen as normal human beings. and should be given the necessary help. Send them to school. And the Biafra is okay. Let's assume primary six okay X to let me say SS3 and all that. You can okay maybe he or she should go learn a skill or rather than continue with their school. In universities we see children with Down syndrome. So let's just kill this, stop this mindset of they are this, they are that. They are normal human beings and should be accepted in society 100%.
Okay. Thank you very, very much. I really needed, one or two parents might be listening. I really needed them to hear that because
I wish
consistency
every
is
parent
key.
should. Yeah, it's the
Yeah,
key. Yeah,
consistency is key. And as you said, their level of understanding is a bit retarded. So they need to
it's
actually,
slow. Yeah,
yeah,
give
they
them
need a
time
longer
and
time,
more
patience.
explanations. They will understand.
Yes, they will understand. They are special children, and they say there is ability in disability. So there is really no reason they should be kept out of society's
Yeah,
activities, right?
you're 100% right. Yes.
Exactly. So yes, you've learned a lot from today's session talking about Down syndrome. Now you know that a Down syndrome patient has 47 chromosomes in their body that makes them look distinct. Now, if you see a Down syndrome person, I am very, very sure you'll be able to know, okay, this person is Down syndrome. You've learned what you need to learn. You know that, oh, there is really no cure for this Down syndrome, but then you can manage it as a person. As a person who is related with a Down syndrome patient, you can get a speech therapist, you can get other type of therapist,
Behavioral therapist,
Yes,
personal therapist. Yeah.
exactly as I said. So you can get this therapist to actually help these children to learn different things that they need to learn. What they need is consistency, patience. That is what they
And
need.
they need love. I didn't
Exactly.
include that. I need to put yourself under their shoes. It's going to help you greatly.
Exactly. So yes, they need love also. So please try to share the love towards their area. Don't see them as outcasts. They're also part of the society. Make sure you do that. Start a Down syndrome soul today and do everything you need to do in order to improve the society's health and well-being. That's where we'll be ending the show for now. We've run out of time. But then up next is Fourth Estate of the Realm. Thank you, Mr. Taffy, for coming forward.
You're welcome.
Yes, I am Mariana Autam. Stay tuned to Unilag FM 103.1. Stay tuned for Fourth Estate of the Realm. Don't go anywhere. This is Unilag FM.